It's Kimiko back again with another video. Alright guys, so sorry it's so late. As you can see, it's nighttime, but I wanted to come to you guys with a little story time and tell you about, because you know I've been doing these little series about the narcissists and how they are. And let me pull my seat up just a tinch so I can get the full effect. You know. So I've been doing these little series about the narcissist, and actually I have another channel, and so what I'm doing is I'm basically pulling all those videos from that channel over to this channel and incorporating my audience together, because it's narcissists, it's cooking, it's trucking, it's just lifestyle and stuff like that. So I'm just gonna bring it all together. So I wanted to give a story time today, and so this story time is going to be about when I found out that my dad was a narcissist. So let me start first of all, you guys, by saying that I didn't grow up with my father, and also I'm going to be putting disclaimers on these type of videos, these DV videos. They call them DV for domestic violence videos, because dealing with a narcissist, definitely it's domestic violence, whether it comes from a parent or a loved one or somebody that you just don't know. So this all ties into it. So basically, like I said, I didn't grow up with my dad. I actually met him when I was I was 18. So he'd never been in my life. So that might be a reason why I happen to deal with people that, I don't know, end up being assholes and fucked up, because I didn't have my dad in my life to be there as a father figure or an actual dad, to, protect me and be there for me. So every fucking man can be a father, but every man can't be a dad, which this fool that I was messing with, he's a father, but he's not a dad. He's been gone all his life, out of his daughter's life. And he sends money home and he gets there when he can, but for the most part he ain't been there. He ain't been there for all the life shit that she had to deal with in her 18 years of life, because he's been out on the road being a truck driver and lying and saying he was in the military for 21 years. But anyway, so my dad, he hasn't been there either. And it's funny, because a lot of times when you don't have that father figure in your life, sometimes you'll run to other men for that father figure, and usually that never works out too well, because they all end up being assholes and manipulators and, what can I say, narcissists. So my dad, I tried to gain a relationship with my dad since I've been trucking, because I drive all over the country. I'm able to go wherever it is that I want to go when I want to go there. And so basically, I've been driving all over the country, and I'm able to go to where he is. And so I surprised him a few times, and I went there and hung out with him and, spent time with him and try to show him how much I loved him. I didn't call him dad for a long time, because to me, I don't even know you. Like, you're a stranger to me. Like, why should I be calling you dad? Come on now. I would call him by his name. And then it got to the point where, I decided, okay, well, he is my dad. Hold on, y'all. All right, y'all, so I'm back. So I just felt like my camera wasn't right. So anyway, so, everybody can be a dad, everybody can be a father, but everybody can't be a dad. So I would go and I surprised him for Father's Day a couple years ago. I went out for Thanksgiving, spent time, met my aunts and my cousins and, stuff like that, and ate and had a good time. The first time, it was really a great time. you know, and then eventually I went out for Father's Day. That was a great time. And then I went another time where I was, you know, just kind of going, just to be going. And boy. It wasn't a bad time that time. It was just that he wanted me to stay with him, and I'm a private person. I'm a grown-ass woman, and I just, you know, want to be alone. I want to go and get me a sweet and come and get me in the morning time or whatever. We can hang out, stuff like that. For the most part, I don't want to be in the same house with you. One, I don't know you, and two, you know, I just don't. So, I mean, you know, there were some things that went on with that, you know. The place where he wanted me to stay, let's just say, it wasn't ready for me. Someone else had been living in that room, and they passed away, and I just felt like it wasn't cleaned out and ready for me to go and live in the room and be there with him. So my thing was, okay, I'm going to get a suite like I always do. So so that was one thing that I don't know if he had a problem with that, but I had a problem with that. And it was just the way he was coming at me, like, this is how you take a shower. Make sure you put the shower curtain inside the bathtub. If you're gonna take a shower, take it out if you're gonna take a bath. You know, it was like, are you kidding me right now? Like, come on now. I'm 50. At that point, I was 50 years old. I'm like, Dad, I know how to take a bath. I know what to do. I've had my own places. I've had my own homes. I've owned my own home. I mean, come on now. Like, really? Like, that right there would, like, piss a person off and would really, you know, that would, if you're me or anything like me, or even if you're not like me, that would piss a person off knowing that I'm grown, you know? You don't have to tell me how to take a bath. So, another thing that happened was, it was going to be a big Christmas party that my aunt was going to give, that she gives annually. And so I had left. Let me back up a little bit. I had left, and I got back on the road. And then a couple months, or maybe 4 months later, I was supposed to come back out because there was a Christmas party that I was going to attend of my aunt's that she gives every year. As I was getting ready to come out there, I was like, had just got my load was going there, and I was on my way. I had just left California, and I was on my way. And mind you, it's probably 2,500 miles going to Arkansas. And so it's more than that, actually. It's a little bit more than that. Anyway, so he calls me on the phone, and he says to me, did you get your Covinesia shot? And I said, no. And he said, why? And I said, because I decided that I don't want to get it. You know, that's my own personal opinion. That's what I want to do. It's my body. If I don't want to get it, I don't want to get it. I mean, I've driven around the country all this time, and I haven't had an issue. And so I just don't want to get it. I have my own beliefs and my own reasons why I don't want to do it. I just don't want to do it. So that caused a huge problem, where he started saying things like, well, you're the super spreader and you should be getting it, and why wouldn't you want to do it, and you're stupid. And wait a minute, I'm stupid? Okay, that was I let that go. That was a red flag. And then you know, he's saying all these things, derogatory things to me about how I just don't want to, I don't want to be around you, and if you're not gonna get it, you might as well just not be in the family, and you're not in the family no more if you're not gonna get it. And what he does is he just keeps over talking me, and I'm trying to say, look, this is what I want to do. I don't want to do it. It got to the point where I said, look at here, I'm a grown-ass woman. I don't want to get it, you know? I shouldn't have to explain that to you. I didn't want to get with you this way. I didn't want to get you together, you know, this way. I just wanted you to take it as, that's her opinion, that's her prerogative, that's what she wants to do. Okay, fine. Whatever, we'll still be together, we'll see each other, it'll be Christmas time, it'll be great. Oh no. I said that, and do you know, he just kind of, let me open this window. He just kind of flipped. Oh, well, you a grown-ass woman, and this and that, and oh, man, it got to the point where this man said to me, fuck you, bitch. Fuck you, bitch. Wow. Wait a minute. First of all, I don't even know you. First of all, I'm your daughter. I'm your only daughter, and this is how you talk to me? And he just kept going on and on and on and on, and just on and on and on and on. Just kept over talking me, and get the fuck off my phone. And oh my God, you guys, when I tell you, it sounded so much like this situation that I was just in, where a person won't let you speak, where they overtalk you, and when you start saying things that you know is right and that you know that you have the right to say, then they start to get angry because you're fucking with their ego at that point. You know what I mean? Their little tiny ego that they have, their fragile ego. That's what narcissists have, a fragile ego. You know, they try to build themselves up like they're just larger than life, but then when you get with them and get their asses together, then that's when they start to with this ego business that they do, and they start cussing you out and saying derogatory things, and just, you know, being very harsh and very nasty. And that's what he did to me, and he had no reason to do anything like that to me. First of all, I'm your daughter. Second of all, you've never raised me. You've never been in my life. It got into a battle back and forth where he was saying he got mad because I let him know my grandmother raised me, and she raised me well. She raised me with morals. She raised me with class. She raised me with tact. She raised me very well, with a very good education and the whole nine. And all throughout my life, from the time that I left my grandmother's house till now, I've had a very good life. I've been a lot of places, and I'm not even talking about trucking. Before I was trucking, I was going to Hawaii and going to Jamaica and going to all these different places that I was going, you know, and having a good time, spending money, doing my own thing. I don't have any kids, so I can do whatever the hell I want to do when I want to do it. I can spend as much money I want to, when I want to, whenever I want to, on whatever I want to. I don't want for anything, nothing. And I've spoiled myself. Yes, granted, I've been in situations where people have spoiled me and they've done really nice things for me, but for the most part, I can do that for myself. I've always been that ambitious type of person to where I make my own money. I do my own thing. Nobody can tell me shit, you know? Very independent. And when you are an independent person that way, nobody can tell you what to do. Nobody can tell you shit, you know? I'm not saying be so big-headed to where nobody can say anything to you. No, I heed things that people say to me, but at the end of the day, I'm my own person. And I know my worth, and I know what I will and will not stand for. And so it just got to the point he got really angry, and I, you know, had to get him together again. Like, you know, what is the issue? Why are you so angry? You know, you've never been there. You know, of course that hurt his ego. But at the same time, now you already told me, fuck you, bitch. So, oh, the gloves are on now. So now what? You know, I'm a grown-ass woman. I'm going to say and do whatever I want to say and do. You've already, that level of respect now is gone. So fast forward, mind you, I didn't go to the Christmas party because I just didn't want any issues, and I felt as though when he came at me like that, I knew right then and there, I could just sense the type of person that he was, and if he would say that to me, then I knew that ain't no telling what else he may do or say if I came around. I actually reached out to my aunt, which is his sister, and I told her what happened, and she quickly let me know that, oh yeah, he's told me countless amount of things, and I've seen him do really bad things to people on the corners, and, you know, stuff like that, you know, slapping people up, and, you know, just the whole dynamic of his persona, you know, and the type of person that he is. He thinks he's just larger than life, and he can do and say whatever he wants to other people and never have any repercussions from it. So when she let me know that, I already knew, oh no, I'm not coming. Now, let's back up a little bit. A couple of days after all that had transpired, he had called me on the phone to say that I got some mail because I was going through the transition of changing my CDL over to his state so that I could buy my truck, because out of the state of California, of course, you know, you can't lease your truck on if you're an owner operator. That's a whole nother conversation. But so I changed my CDL over to his state, and everything was, the ball was going to be rolling. It was going to be great. He called me and told me that I had some mail, and he commenced to reading the mail. Now, he had called me before we had got into it and asked me, hey, you got some mail, do you want me to go ahead and open it up? And I said, yeah, sure, go ahead and open it up. He read it to me, no problem. But after we had the altercation, he actually got my mail and opened it up, and then called me on the phone and said, this is what your mail says. And that was like the fourth strike with me already, because I'm like, wait a minute, hold up. Like, why did you open my mail? Like, well, you let me do it before. I said, yeah, well, you called me first. Like, just disregarding the fact that I am an individual and a grown individual. You don't just open up my mail. First of all, that's against the law. I don't give a damn who you are. You know, and again, you're my father or sperm donor versus my dad. I don't have a relationship with you. You don't just open up my mail. You know, I have a P.O. box that also is from that state, but just so happened the mail that he opened was sent to his address. That still doesn't give you the right to open it. So, wait a minute, you guys. I'm going to get to the end of this story and the kicker of it all. So, after all of that, I didn't talk to him anymore. And mind you, this was last Christmas, which was 2021. So fast forward, I haven't spoke to him since. Fast forward to probably May, a couple months ago. I got a missed call. Actually, I got a call on my phone. He's blocked. Because, let me just rewind just a tiny bit. After he did all that, probably about the same day that about the mail, I said to him, so Dad, is there something that you want to say to me? He was like, something like what? Something like what? You don't think you should apologize to me for the way you spoke to me and the way you came at me and told me fuck me and called me a bitch? He said, I made him go there on me. Now that right there lets me know he's an abuser. He's verbally abusive. He's a narcissist. He thinks his shit don't stink. He thinks he is, you know, all that, and doesn't have to respect his child. He doesn't have to respect women. He doesn't have to respect his sister. He don't have to respect anybody. You know, he don't have to respect people on the street. He can just do whatever he want to do, slap people up, talk to people any kind of way, treat people any kind of way, and there's not supposed to be any repercussions. So when he told me why should he say anything as far as an apology is concerned, I immediately got off the phone with him and I blocked him. Oh, he even said to me, well, you know what, let's just make it go back to the way that it was before, where you were doing your thing in your life and I was doing my thing in my life. He was like, at one point he had said, we just got back together, like we just got reunited, like come on, like it don't have to be like this. But then in the next breath he turned around and said, let's just go on the way that we were before. And so I said, okay, you know what, cool, you ain't gotta beg me, because you're not worth me, you know. I'm not about to beg you, and I'm not getting ready to deal with your bullshit, pretty much. So fast forward, and about May came, and I got a call because I had blocked him. And you know, phones are set up to where you can get a notification that says somebody called you that's blocked, and so I had that on my phone. And so I noticed that he had called me, and so I called him back. And do you know what he said? Now, mind you, this was December, and I hadn't talked to him till May, so 5 months had passed. It might have even been June. I think it was the 1st of June. 6 months had passed. He called me, and probably about 4 hours later, I noticed the notification, and I called back, and I said, yeah, what's up? You know, because at this point, I'm like, yeah, what's up? Like, it ain't no more dad, or hey, dad, I love you, or hey, dad, I noticed you called. Hell no, what's up? Nigga, you talk to me like I'm a bitch in the streets, I'm gonna talk to you like you a nothing ass nigga in the streets, pretty much. You don't mean anything to me. So, he said, oh, I've been dialing numbers, and I, by mistake, dialed your number. But I'm glad you called, because I just wanted to tell you that I forgive you. I'm like, what? That's what he said. Not I apologize, not I love you, but I forgive you. You forgive me for what? For standing up to you? That's what you forgive me for? He goes, and I just think we should just let bygones be bygones. And, you know, I want to have a relationship with you. And, you know, let's just keep in touch and the way that we were before, because it had gone to the point where we would talk to each other at least twice a week. And he had always said, if 3 days pass, either you call me or I'll call you. And that's how we had started doing. Once I got out on the road and was able to start going out there to see him, and we formed a relationship, we started talking like at least twice a week. I said, okay, talk to you later, and kept his ass blocked. So the moral of this story that I'm trying to say is that, again, any man can be a father, but every man is not a dad. They're not nurturing. They're not there for you. They don't take care of you. They don't instill anything in you. Those type of people, and it could be your mom. There's people out here that didn't grow up with their mom. I didn't grow up with my mom either. My mom was there. She came around, but she didn't raise me. So, but at the same time, I have the utmost respect for my mom before she passed away, because at least she was still there. At least she still came around. Whereas this motherfucker ain't never came around and then had the nerve to say something foul to me. Boy, bye. Boy, bye. You 70 years old and you acting like a damn boy, a kid. So that was the story time about when I found out and how I found out that my dad was a narcissist. And you know, it's been corroborated from his family members, not only his sister but his niece and a couple of other people that have said, oh yeah, that's how he is. You know, this big ego, but at the same time, it's this big, really. You know, when you get them together and you stand up to them, and that's just how narcissists are. And so it's unfortunate, but at the same time, that doesn't mean that I won't keep going. That doesn't mean that, you know, I'm not, I don't feel any kind of way. Honestly, I don't. I really don't. You've never been there, and I don't have a connection with you. So it really don't make a difference to me. And he's a vindictive type of person as well. So, you know, apparently my name is on the deed to his home and stuff like that, and his cars, and when he passes away, it's all supposed to go to me. But, you know, vindictiveness and that childlike ass mind, he probably changed all that shit over and left it to who knows who. I don't know, but we'll see. You know what I mean? I can't miss nothing that I never had, so that was never mine, and so it's not something that I'm looking forward to having. And that's just it in a nutshell. So that was the time when I found out my dad was a narcissist, and you know, it is what it is. Alright, y'all, so we're gonna post this video in a couple of days. Right now I'm gonna go and do laundry and shower because I've had a long day. And yeah, I'm in Denver right now, and I came from Salt Lake, so I mean, it was a full day. It was as many miles as I was ready to put in for the day. Probably about 540, something like that. Alright guys, I'm gonna go, but make sure you comment below if you guys have narcissists in your family, or if you have people, you know, that are around you that are verbally abusive. You know, I'd like to hear about it. Comment below. Make sure you share the video. Share the video. And also hit the like. And go ahead and press that bell notification. That way you guys are notified when I upload another video. Alright, it's Kimiko and I'm out. Peace.